Coming up, why you can manifest in seconds. Welcome, I am Terry. Think about this question. What made sure that you were breathing and your heart was pumping last night when you were asleep? Have you ever thought of that? Or what heals the paper cut on your finger? What is that thing that does that? And your finger, after just minutes or tops hours, there's not even a scar. It's invisible. It's gone. It's kind of live in a magical world, even though whatever you believe in, or if you don't believe in anything, it's quite amazing. Bob Dylan was asked, "Bob, where does your lyrics come from?" And he answered, "Man, I have no idea. I just write them." Meaning, I just write them down. They just come to me. What is that? And Mark Twain said, "I haven't worked a day in my life." Meaning, it just comes to me. And if you're a creative person and have felt the magic of the flow state, where just things come to you, where does that come from, that creativity and those ideas? So are we talking about the universe, higher self, subconscious, intuition, quantum physics, energy, placebo effect? As I said in the last video, if you haven't seen that video, you really should see that before you watch this. That's called How to Manifest in Seconds, and this is why you can manifest in seconds. So I talked about how to do it in the last episode. So as I said in that video, I don't have the answers to what this is. I believe in a universal intelligence, if you will, that there's something, let's call it something more, something out there than our daily life suggests. So that's my take on it. I call it the universe, just to make it easy and simple. And Albert Einstein said, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift." So why does it work to manifest in seconds? I think placebo is a good explanation. Placebo is maybe the closest we have come to scientifically document magic. You know what placebo is probably. You get a pill, which is not a medicine, but you think it's a medicine, and you take the pill and you get better. And there's been tons of examples of physical damages have been healed with no doctor touching it, but the patient believed that the doctor had operated on him, and the knee was fine. And nobody really knows what placebo, that power is. But I think it's similar to what we do when we manifest by asking. And the secret to all manifesting, if it's the law of attraction or the ask approach or whatever, is your intent. Your intention. Your intention is the key. Some people believe in healing with sound, or some people believe in Reiki healing, or some people believe that they need to do some ritual to get a certain effect. That is all true and also not true in my view. The healing with sound is nothing without the intention. If you don't have a clear intention, just make the sound and see what happens. Nothing happens. So you can heal without making sounds or doing a special method, as long as your intention is clear. But you cannot heal without the intention. So the key here, that the sound or the special method might amplify. Rituals don't have effect by themselves, but rituals can amplify your intention. You see what I mean here? Without the intention, it's nothing. So if you have to choose just one thing, choose the intention. That's the key. That's the factor that makes it work. Making that sound, having that ritual will not work on it by itself. It needs to connect to the intention, and it might amplify the intention, which is great. So yes, it does work when it does that. It does not work by itself. It needs your intention to make it work. So your thoughts, your clear intention is the whole answer to this big mystery, in my view. So please feel free to disagree with me, but it sort of makes sense to me. And we have free will. And the ask approach, manifesting in seconds, works because you ask for help. Meaning, you give the universe, the universal intelligence, permission to help you by you asking. If you don't ask, the universe, I'm sure it nudges you and helps you, along the way. But by asking, you give it permission to more influence your daily life. You say, it's okay, I would like you to help me. You give your permission to the universe. The universe respects your free will, waits until you ask, and then magic happens. In preparation to these videos, I use AI. I use it as a co-creator. I think AI is scary and fantastic at the same time. And many of my ideas I get from AI. I use it as a sparring partner and a co-creator. And right? Because I asked, what's a good way to explain not using the ask approach, living your life and not using the ask approach? And one of the suggestions I really liked. Living your life without asking the universe for support is like having a sailboat and not use the sails. I found that, in fact, a little moving. Because the thing is, we're so close. It takes seconds to ask, like 7 seconds. Then you have your focused mind and you're given permission to the universe, and boom, we're off to the races. And if only people knew, right? And you don't even have to believe in it for it to work. As I said in the last video, how you do it. It doesn't even require you to believe in it. All you have to do is to be open to the possibility that something might happen. You need just to be open. And do we really know everything there is to know about this universe and about consciousness and this existence? The answer to that is no. So just by being open, yeah, fantastic. And one other thing I would like to add when it comes to why it works, which is connected to the law of attraction, of course, is that if you're thirsty, if we're unhappy with something or we have a disease, we tend to focus on that problem, right? But if you're thirsty, you don't go around complaining that you're thirsty and focusing on your thirst. No, you go and get a drink of water or something. And you go for the solution instead of the problem. Or if you're hungry, you go for the food. You don't go for the feeling of being hungry. And I think that's a nice way of putting it when it comes to our problems and, health-wise. And and I've been there, very interesting thing that happens when you're sick. I noticed it in myself. So I'm not saying I'm perfect in any way, believe me, I'm not. Having this disease, I noticed Even though I wasn't a complainer and identified very much with the disease, but when people asked me and I started talking about it, and I kind of wanted to get some sympathy. Oh, poor you, Terry. Oh, you have this disease. So it must be so terrible and horrible. I kind of wanted that to happen, people to say that to me, but I was aware of it, said, no, I am not going down that road. Because that road is the same as to focus on being thirsty when you're thirsty, right? Now go for the solution. So instead of focusing on what we want to avoid, which we often do, by complaining, we should go for the things we want, the water, the food, when we're thirsty and hungry. So are you complaining or are you daydreaming? One of these two. Yeah, and also let me just add, I said that in the last video on how to do this manifest in seconds, but I would like to repeat it because I think it's important. I think it doesn't require it for it to work, but I think, now I'm just guessing, okay, but I have a feeling that it might work even better if you build a relationship with the universal intelligence. If you communicate with it also when you don't want anything. If you only, I don't think it requires this, but it makes sense to me that to build a relationship and to have the universe with you and to talk to it. If you see a beautiful bird or a flower, comment on it and say, hey guys, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And if there's people around you and they don't want to hear you talk out loud, say it in your mind. It works fine. And it's given me, I'm not in any way perfect, and I have a lot of issues in my life. So I don't want to, try to come across as that. But it has given me, and also interesting, when you're on this path, it's kind of hard to remember what it used to be like. But my fear of death is gone. If I'm gone tomorrow, so be it, okay. It gives also, by communicating with the universe, it gives you a confidence. Not a look at me confidence, but a quiet confidence. That it really, it doesn't, things that used to be important, it's not important anymore. And it gives me a sense of gratitude. And it gives me a sense of purpose, making these episodes. And it's the end of all drama. I don't want to go into discussions and he said that and the drama is gone. I don't need it, want it, or have it anymore. So there's a lot of benefits by starting communicating with the universe and asking for favors and commenting on a beautiful sunset. Hey guys, look at that. So to find out how you do this, check out the last episode or video, then I will give you everything you need in order to manifest in seconds. Okay, talk soon.